Ladies and gentlemen, start up your battle cards. It is week 4 of Rival Series action right here on the B stream. Jarv Jam, together with Nambi and Digital Bacon, will be your guides through the remaining 3 matches for Europe. After 4 flirting games today, including at least one surprise, this is how the standings are currently looking. We have RCD Espanyol at the very top, still undefeated. Solari and Team BDS in those playoff spots. RGM is looking snugly in the 4th position, followed by Notorious Legion Esports, Triple Trouble, and Weedham Girls, or all with a 2-2 result, while Team Vertex, Servette, Geneva Esports, and Baguette Squad will be looking to find their wins. Nambi, Bacon, glad to have you here. How are you feeling? How are you looking for these matches? We're surely going to talk about each one of them as they will appear, but just at the first, how are you?
Yeah, doing quite good here, Jam. Of course, I unfortunately missed last week, being a little bit ill. I felt a little bit left out, but coming back, of course, this week. And looking at games we got lined up, they're going to be pretty tasty. I mean, first of all, BDS and Servette Geneva. Servette Geneva looking hot in other tournaments. I mean, we'll get into them a little bit later. Baguette Squad, like I said, against Notorious Legion. Again, similar story. Notorious Legion looking so good. And then last game at the end of the evening, we're a little worried it could be a stomp, aren't we?
Well, for the last game of the series, I know we're looking at RJM versus Espanyol, but I'm really excited to see it because first seed versus at least the first place guys versus, I would technically say there's 2 second place guys because I mean they're very similar in win percentage, and it looks like since Espanyol's undefeated, I'm excited to see can RJM take 1 game off of them.
Well, the teams and the matchups they're going to see today will be as follows. Team BDS will be looking to continue their winning streak after raking up 3 Ws. Their opponents, Servette Geneva Esports, were not able to translate their up-league performance into a win against Solari yesterday, and Swiss team is still struggling to climb out of the relegation zone. Later on, we'll have Baguette Squad versus Notorious Legion Esports. Baguette Squad will be squaring off against Notorious Legion Esports, and for the French outfit, the clock is ticking ever so louder and faster for a team that still has matches against Triple Trouble, RCD Espanyol, and Solari. Their situation is abyssal. And with Notorious Legion coming into this week back in form, including a recent win against Dignitas in the European Invitational, hapless Baguette Squad will have to give it all on the field. And finally, the stream will end with RCD Espanyol versus RGM, where Catalan side of RCD Espanyol will be looking to add another notch on their perfect season and be the first squad to reach 5 wins. With the way their schedule is shaping up, Espanyol are almost guaranteed to end up in top 3, but the likes of Notorious Legion Esports, Team BDS, together with their next opponent, RGM, will be trying to spoil that sweet record. For RGM, it's going to be batten down the hatches, go down fighting after collecting 3 wins against teams who currently prop up the standings table. RCD Espanyol will be the Goliath, the likes of which RGM haven't seen yet. But gentlemen, let's quickly talk about the first game. That's going to be Team BDS versus Servette Geneva Esports. You've mentioned it, Bacon. Nambi, I think you are in the same option and opinion. Are we just expecting another blowout against Servette, something that the Swiss team are just too familiar with?
If you look at the series, Team BDS have done especially well against teams that are very defensive. So I will say that in a series, I would say there's a potential for that, but I would say at least for each game, they usually do keep it pretty close. So I think Team Servette does have a very good chance of maybe taking at least a game off of Team BDS if they really buckle down and start using that defensive offense that they do have as to transition into the offense. If they can definitely work on that, they definitely do have a chance against Team BDS.
And really, it does feel like Servette have what it takes. We, again, seen some of their great performances in the European Invitational, but they can never utilize when it really matters the most. At times, it almost seems like there's always one player dragging them down.
Yeah, and looking at that, definitely we've always had one player that's very off form each and every week. And it seems to be a problem with RL, RS, or the rival series here. Just They suffer from nerves. We've seen them in other tournaments throughout the week, and they are looking stellar. Midweek, they went 3-2. Don't get me wrong, a loss, but against Barcelona, absolute crazy stuff there, and they look so formidable. The problem is when it comes to the rival series, they sink into a little pit of nerves and pressure, and they've got to climb their way out of their jam.
All right, well, the match is all ready to start. Don't forget, those of you in the Twitch chat can vote !BDS or !SG to show your support for one team or the other. But Bacon, Nambi, let's see what this first matchup has.
Yeah, I'm looking so forward to this one here, Nambi. For me, of course, Servette Geneva, they are my boys. I do a lot of work over in the Swiss region. I can't wait to get this started. There you go, countdown finish. And Clex followed up by Mark by 8. What a fantastic kickoff from him. Mirror going to be able to get that out on a great follow-up from Servette. He's gone in for goal.
That's open.
Such a good save from Monkey. No! The follow-up, though, cannot be said coming in from Servette.
That was 2 chances for Yagi and Zafir to put something in, and I know Mir wants to stay in the back lines, but now Mark by 8 is going to be able to put this off the side wall, and Zafir, wants to keep this away to give Servette a chance to get some boost back, and now Yagi actually demos Mark for his troubles, but now Keep Clay X clears it away as Mir puts it off the side wall. These 2 teams already, Servette, we've already seen some great chances come out from both Zafir and Yagi, but I am surprised that they weren't able to finish.
A whiff coming out from Mirror as well there. Got to be careful. Just make sure that they get that first goal and play it safe. Good follow-up from Mirror. We'll get a good clearance downfield here, Nambi. And you can see each side is really feeling each other out, making sure, okay, how are you feeling today? How are you playing? Are you keeping that defensive style? Servette, are you going to be able to pull things off like
Double!
this? Yagi with the setup. Absolutely BEA beautiful.
And Mark by 8, all he can do is try to read that second touch. But since he can't read it, Zafir has one clearly onto the right side. Well done by Yagi to set up that sweet goal, especially to give them one ahead. As from what I saw from Team BDS, from what I did say, I was thinking that these games were gonna be close, but like you did say, when they had a great result, or at least a great turnout coming out against Barcelona, can Servette continue that and maybe have it against Team BDS, since they have played up against RLCS teams and had some good results?
Not getting the connection, nor does Mark by 8. You'll notice a lot of these close flybys, where these 2 teams are going heavily for blocks and 50-50, so they've got to be careful, because if one doesn't connect, it's going to look a little bit silly and sloppy on the pitch. Mirror doing great stuff to set himself up. The follow-up not coming through from Servette, playing it nice and safe.
Yeah, you can't underestimate rotations. If you're out of rotation, there definitely will be a hole in the offense as well, and any kind of defense. You do want to have any kind of momentum going into this game. But Servette giving themselves a great chance to keep going with this, but Monkey Moon's going to put a screamer as Zafir has to make the save into the corner. Monkey Moon actually does a smart idea and keeps it in. Mark by 8 gets a low 50 to put it up above him. And Clayax has a chance to maybe get a pass to both Monkey Moon or Mark by 8, but actually, we did see Yagi have a great defensive option, and now Mirror clears it out to Yagi to put it into the middle. Luckily, nobody was there, and I am loving these rotations coming out from Servette.
Yeah, Mirror there just didn't have the boost, wasn't going to risk it. He was on free there, Nambi. He wasn't going to just jump on in. Yes, it might cause a bit of threat, a little bit of panic, but it ruins their rotations. And Servette Geneva are all about those rotations. They look so formidable in defense, just waiting for it. Nice connection with Mirror. Will gain them so much ground here. Monkey Moon, great clearance out. Might be trying to chase onto it, but Yagi gently pushes that off to the side and sort of dissolves any threat there.
Monkey Moon puts one on in, but Mirror makes a great block. Mark by 8 just putting it off the side wall. Clayax has something up the top left, and Zafir and Mirror are on the back foot and can't do anything about this as it's a tie game.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this shot coming from that area. Normally, Clayax, just with the fashion of BDS, would hit that off the backboard, waiting for a man in the middle, but no, he goes to the shot, and it is an absolute belter. 1 minute 47, they get the equalizer. This is a formidable attack coming on in. Double commits. You do not want to see that. Mirror can't connect with the ball. Yagi somehow getting the touch, pushing it forward, and they are back in defense. Servette Geneva weathering that storm.
I love that. I know when we usually say that double commits are usually not the best to go for some of these balls, but I was surprised that after they hit each other, they both did have a chance to make a second touch, and I'm glad Yagi did stay with it and not throw it away and waited to get that flip reset. And that shows that Yagi seems to be playing very confidently as he now takes it over 2. He wants to get one against Clay X. It looked like he did have a chance. Mir and Zafir, though, were definitely ready for the defensive play as now they kind of settle into their defensive motion. But if they settle too defensively here, Clay X does have one for Monkey Moon, and I know that Servette does want to play defensively, but Team BDS puts one on the board.
This is a play I love to call an airdrop. Look at that. Down from Clay X, Monkey Moon receiving the package, and he is going to finish it off. 55 seconds remaining. Servette Geneva starting off strong. They've looked strong all throughout the game, but not strong enough to take down this Spanish side. Don't get me wrong, with a little bit of French fashion thrown in, but it's marked by 8 to equalize it out. 3 Musketeers, 1 for each of them right now.
Yagi with the feels backflip, man. I saw that backflip and I felt that as that ball was going straight down. As you know, they're not going to miss an open net, especially in the rival series. And Clay X actually wins a great touch on it as now Monkey Moon could get a second hit, but Mirror just wants to keep the ball close. And maybe have someone like Yagi to come in, but Yagi came in way too late. As now Clay X has a great opportunity off the backboard, and now the pressure is going to be coming out from Team BDS as Yagi actually puts a screamer in. Mark by 8 has to make a surprising save. At least we see that Servette haven't given up in this game.
No, they haven't. 20 seconds left as well. Most would call this right now. And Servette, they've got a lot to improve on, don't get me wrong, but the foundations are always so good. That is just down to their style. Go on, make sure that they can just get some interceptions on in. Monkey Moon, you can see there, when he tries to slow down the play, it will do nothing against Servette Geneva. Mirror not going to be able to receive that, and as soon as this ball touches ground, we are done here with game 1. But it is a best of 5. I've got a feeling this one might just go the whole distance.
It is looking like that. From what we saw is that Team BDS might be going up a game, but it doesn't show the whole story of how each of those games went. And Servette, even now coming out with a very early lead, it seemed after Servette came out with the early lead, they didn't really keep up that momentum after Team BDS finally downloaded their opponents and were like, you know what, it looks like they're now playing more defensively. They're clearing the ball away, but they're going back for boosts, and that's when Team BDS kind of struck first like you did. There was some really great goals coming out from Clay X and that sort of with that drop pass into the middle. So well done to Team BDS. Each of them were participating in this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Mark Bay's been doing some stellar just ball control in the midfield. Clay X generally receives that and drop it down, and then Monkey Moon is just a good last man back, you know, the third man option to finish those off. How BDS have changed from the start of this season, where coming on in, they looked a little bit shaky to me. I don't know about you, Nambi, but we didn't get to see a lot of them in the off season. It seemed like they had a very cold start, but now they've worked through those issues. They've seen how all the opposing sides play, and they've come up with a nice rotational 3-man fully effective triagonal style, which we haven't actually seen for a few seasons, have we now? Like that full everyone gets involved play generally isn't the thing at the moment. You get very much a solid, this is your, you know, last man back. He is always going to be in defense because you want to bolster up your attack, or you stick to a more counteractive. You have 2 players on back and then a man forward, you know, being very aggressive. So for me with BDS, it just seems very nostalgic, you know, to maybe season 5, season 6 of ROCS.
Yeah, I love how you have to be good at everything in this game, right? Like there's always a risk reward, especially when you said to keep maybe 2 people up for a counterattack. And does the situation call for a counterattack, or are they going to read it and say we are going to intercept in midfield and it could be a 2-on-1? And I love how this rock, paper, scissors kind of Rocket League comes in from what we saw with Servette. When they did play a little defensively, they were able to counterattack some of the overcommitments from Team BDS. And then when Team BDS found out that they were playing a little more defensively, they were able to come in and say, hey, we can make some great transitions here and come in and make some great goals. And each one of them had 1 goal. And I think it was, I don't know which one, but I know one of them had 2 assists in that game.
Flex.
So I think it was Clay. Yeah, Clay. So I would say Clay X played a very strong game number 1 up against Servette. But Servette coming into this, we know that Servette can definitely play up against Team BDS, but it looks like once they get on the back foot, it's hard for them to make that transition into the offense.
And the stellar thing for me at the moment is BDS is a actual organization have had some stellar results. Namely within Rainbow Six. So coming on into Rocket League, they picked up a team which most people probably thought were going to teeter us off this season, but they've carried that form over into Rocket League and have been doing absolutely fantastic, maybe even on the charge to make up into RLCS next season. And Jam has just pointed out the little known knowledge. BDS is a Swiss esports organization. They picked up 2 Spaniards and a Frenchman, and they're now going up against a fully Swiss team. Like, it's just you don't write those stories, it just happens.
And I think that's what I love about the passion of Rocket League, is that it doesn't matter who or what organization or where they come from. It always seems to be that it's the passion that's there for Rocket League, especially if you're playing up against, like, you're the Swiss organization playing up against a Swiss team. To me, it kind of shows that it's that Rocket League, especially right now, is very wide, especially now for the introduction of other tournaments, especially TEI. And especially how successful RLCS has been, especially in the past few seasons, which now we are starting again, especially with another season of Rival Series. So I am very excited to see how this sort of pans out, especially now that we know that the Rival Series right now is actually, since we are in the week 4, this is kind of the latter half of it. So now teams like Servette, Geneva need to start putting up some great, I would say some better results, especially now that they're almost past the halfway point now.
Yeah, I'd say we're right at the halfway mark, and this is going to be pivotal for a lot of these teams. You look at Servette Geneva, currently sitting 1 win, 4 losses. They need to get a win here. They're already, on the same number of games played as a lot of the other teams. So this becomes every single game has to be a win right now to maybe even stay up, because we look at a lot of the teams in the midfield like Weedham, Gelsnat, and you're going, they're going to get some more wins along the way. So we have to see, can they turn this around, or will BDS continue their line of form? Getting on into game 2 here on Neo Tokyo. Yagi already launched this one forward, out by Mark Bay, but Yagi still well placed back in defense, allows Mirrorwing to move on forward. And you can see right now that Servette Geneva are really working for that midfield control, trying to get the ball downfield.
I think if they want to maintain that midfield control, I think they want to slow down the play here, because it looks like once Team BDS start passing these plays past them, it seems after they finally get on the back foot, it seems that they have some issues, especially into the corner. But Monkey Moon, he's looking for maybe Mark by 8 to come in, but luckily Play X did not go for it, and Mark by 8, that communication between BDS is also very well done, as they seem to be not all over each other, and they don't want to double commit, especially up against a team like Servette.
Well, if you notice both sides, they seem to have... Oh, that's a brilliant connection.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to sit there and just appreciate. Sometimes shut up, sit down, and watch a beautiful goal.
Yeah, this is fair. Just could not get that second touch off the wall. Those behind touches are so hard to read, because your camera goes into a very awkward position once the ball gets behind you, and he tried to make that read. Usually players like that in the Rival Series are definitely 9 times out of 10 able to make that read, but Spare was just in a very weird, awkward spot and could not do that. And that was because Team BDS just loves to play even these kind of slow plays, that they are willing to go the distance and say, we don't even have to play fast to get past you guys. And Monkey Moon actually wanted to get a bump on Mirror, but could not get it, as Mark Bay puts it in the corner. Clay X waits for this hit on Yagi, but Yagi just can't get enough to get that away, as now they are boost starving this team. Mark by 8 is now just, you can see, going to the corner, taking away boosting, and now Mirror is kind of struggling to keep the offense going, as Clay X just makes another clear. And Team BDS, it just seems like they have just downloaded their opponents.
See what's going on here. Yagi cheating up quite a lot. Mirror behind him. Monkey Moon going to be able to get on that, and you can see once again Servette, the only man back in defense. Low amount in the tanks. Mirror going to be able to hit that one up to his teammate, but they just cannot break out of this onslaught. Monkey Moon going to get the credit, but by all means, Marpe orchestrated this one.
and all three of them got involved because we saw an offensive bump, especially from Clay X, and then once they were able to finish it off, it was just a guaranteed net because what you can do is force your opponent to jump, and now you are completely out of position as all three of them got involved in that play. So we already have Clay X and Monkey Moon on the board for 2-0. And Team BDS coming out strong here against Servette, and Servette just really haven't surmounted any kind of comeback, especially in the mid-game. I know Servette could have gotten that challenge, but once you start relying on challenges to go your way, it starts becoming, you start getting some minus returns, especially in this game.
This is a little bit better, but Servette was not quick enough lined up for it. Yagi downfield, Clay X beats Servette to the ball quite easily. The bump up, it's only going to stall for time. Marpe going wide of net. Monkey Moon, you can see they're building the mistouch a little bit. Monkey Moon can't get on the end, but again, this pressure building, just waiting for the defense to burst. Servette does get it out, but the follow-up, futile.
Yeah, he has a chance at this. Fair gets bumped out of the play as Monkey Moon just gives it to Clay X. And Mirror wanted to make that touch, but I think Clay X knew that Mark Baye was behind him to make that shot. Mark Baye's going to make a bump play here, but Yagi is forced to jump. It goes past 2. Clay X cannot get the touch in as the challenge goes in favor of Servette. And now Yagi wants to put one on. They now have the pressure on, but Monkey Moon with the counter attack, it just goes wide, but Monkey Moon is able to clean it up as Mirror and Servette are on the back foot, and it is 3-0 for Team BDS.
I know all the advice at the moment is to keep your hands away from your face, but you can't help but face palm at that one. You look at the defense, and Yagi had the right idea. You've got to now break into the opposite end of the field, but no one got that memo from Servette. A better attack coming on out, but Mirrorwing puts it high. That's going to be handed on over. Servette does get the cut in the midfield. Mirror trying to set something up, but it's an awkward ball. Yagi's got to do millions with this, and it'll all end with Marpe putting that off to the side. Servette does get a touch. That's an unfortunate hit, but no hit coming out from Servette. Mirror's just caught near enough in no man's land. Clicks getting the hit away. This does feel almost like, a B-tier option of what BDS were putting up against Servette Geneva earlier, who were absolutely putting on an S-class. Not going to work against BDS, who are just so fantastic this evening.
And from what you saw, there was definitely a couple chances of open net, but Mirror decided to put it up high. I don't know if it was definitely on purpose, but it looked like it's going to bite him as Monkey Moon is able to score off of what seemed to me Mark Baye wanted to wait for a waterfall hit.
Yep. And Mirror went up for it. And I'm going to be honest there, you can't blame Mirror. If Mark Baye did connect with that ball, he had to be up. If he was just waiting for the miss, yeah, then we're going to be blaming him for it. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment. And that is, again, orchestrated by Mark Baye by getting into such a great position. He has had such big brain plays and setups so far throughout this game. And BDS are looking the strongest I have ever seen them right now.
Mark Baye, I would say, was definitely just the conductor of this entire offense with 2 assists coming into this game and a 4-0 lead. And what a statement to make up against Servette, as Servette made it close, especially in Game 1, where it didn't seem like it could have gone either way, especially in the latter 30 seconds. But Team BDS coming out very strong here with Monkey Moon now pretty much taking most of these goals, and Clay X handing off that sort of the, here, you take most of the shots that you need to take. But I think the reason why it's now very different is because, well, they're just a very well-positioned team. They're very, they know where each other are. They have great communication, especially on the field, and they don't seem to overcommit to any plays, especially on the defense when they thought that maybe Mir had a great shot on net, but when he saw that he just took the crossbar or just above it on the backboard, they were just kind of a little relaxed into the defense, and they were able to transition that easily. And Team BDS just seems just like a very well-rounded team.
So I was just having a cheeky little gander at Twitch chat, and someone put down, sorry, I'm not going to put their name in because I can't see it anymore, that Servette Geneva look out of their depth here in Nambi. Now, from how we've seen them play, in the past, they should be able to play at the same level as BDS. Today, for me, it seems like they have no adaptation. They came in strong, but BDS adapted, were able to break them on down, and now Servette Geneva don't have an answer to that. They're now in what could be the last game of the series, and this is when they've got to step up. They've got to try for a reverse sweep, and that is such a tough graft, ain't it?
Especially in the rival series, you're asking a lot, especially once you feel you're in a mode of just trying to get anything to work, and that could also mean that you're very desperate. Especially Servette Geneva now needs to put some more shots in here, and they need to get some more chances off. I mean, the reverse sweeps are hard to come by. It's not impossible for Servette to do, because that definitely also means that they are still in it. And that's also very exciting to see, as now Servette wants to put one in, but Monkey Moon able to read his hit, as now they are starting to play a little predictably. 3 versus 1, but Mirror, the last man able to put it in, wants to get a pass inwards, but Servette was not facing the right direction, and it seems also Servette's timing is also off as well if he's facing the wrong way.
Yeah, Monkey Moon gets the clear down to the corner. Servette, that's a nice launch, and can he chase up on it? Yes, he can. That's 50-50. Waterfall in front of net. The clearance coming out. Mirror half turns on it. I would feel that Yagi would be the better option, as he was facing it to be able to get a more accurate shot, but the attack continues. Mirror's got boost in the air, can try and go for a second touch, gets it, but then it lingers down into the corner, and no one is fast enough to chase up on it. It just breaks apart. Servette does get a nice little follow-up, but this has to be a shot powerful into the back corner, and that's just weighty, a little bit slow into the center, and it breaks down the attack.
They just seem to be on the back foot constantly. It seems to, even when they do have a chance at it, it seems that they, I wouldn't say throw away the chance, but it looks like they could have been a better hit or off of it. And Mir does a very nice clear, but Clayx is definitely going to be able to read this. It's going to go off the corner. Zavere needs to make this touch. He misses the touch, and Mark by 8 is always going to make that shot if there is a mistake.
Servette, you could see it was a bad read. He went for the quick takeoff thinking the ball's going to bounce a lot harder, because it did go into the corner, didn't it? Right into the curvature of the wall, so he thought it was going to bounce on high and he's got to get up high, but no. Slow and low, and he just looks silly. It's an unfortunate one. 3 minutes left in this game. It is only 1 goal, mind you, but BDS are in control. Yagi getting that ball up the wall. Gets a 50-50 on it, pushed round to center. Monkey Moon connecting up with Mark by 8, but not quick enough to chase on it. Servette gets a clearance and will get out of dodge.
Well, Mir has a chance at this. Monkey Moon gets in the way. Yagi, give your team a chance to basically, or even if I guess Mir was actually rotating back, he couldn't really do much with it. Mark by 8. Off the corner, Yagi does another great clear. We can still see that Yagi, I think he still believes in his team, makes some great clears, keeps the ball away from his net, and it's still just a 1-0 game, but Monkey Moon has a pass inwards. Zavere makes a great read off of it, a great defensive play, but Clayx now sees that after the ball went off the ceiling, he's going to have a chance at it, and Yagi, Mir, and Zavere are all feel like having to wait for this ball to go in, and it just goes in after Monkey Moon takes a great shot.
That's a feels bad, man, when you squish it up against the post. No hope in heck there to be able to make the save. You were doomed. 2 minutes 13 left on the clock. Again, we say it, it's possible to come back. Do we think it's going to happen, Nambi? I think we're both in the same boat saying no, but that just means we want Servette Geneva to prove us wrong. Opportunity just wide of net. Mirror can't get that on target. Yagi following up. This has to be now. Not going to be. Marbe is downfield and able just to get a gentle touch, keeping it under his team's control. Well handled. But what was Yagi doing up in the air there?
They looked like they had a couple of great chances off. I know he was waiting for a 50-50 off of the backboard, but after the play died down, now they're on the back foot again as Team BDS just searching for that second goal and keeping it not even past the midfield, where Mark by 8 makes a great setup for Monkey Moon. He wants to maybe put it down below. Excuse me, oh my goodness, for Clayx, and Yagi has a great chance off to get a clear, but then there's no follow-up after the clear happens. It seems like Zavere makes a great hit or challenge, but cannot finish it off as Mark by 8 is now we're just looking for a bump on the third man to continue this defensive action that BDS is doing right now.
Definitely 1 minute remains on our screens and the players' screens as well. Pressure really setting on in for Servette Geneva. How are they going to handle it? Fair really on the back foot, needs to get around, beat Klex to the ball, but just does not have a pace. Sometimes Supersonic is not fast enough, and here it's going to cost them third goal in.
Team BDS just never let up. And even in game 1, when they were down 1, they were like, okay, let's figure out our opponents here. Just keep playing to our game plan. We know how these guys play. Let's just keep going with it. And they won that first one. And then after that, Servette could not score a single goal afterwards. And Spunky Mood wants to make a double tap in. You could just see how Team BDS is
star goal.
confident
It's the
with this.
highlight of the week. Why not? You're 3-0 up. It's done. By all means, this series is done. You've got 20 seconds left. Why not get a little bit fancy? Mopway tried to get the 50-50, knock it to center. ClayX will be able to get a block there, and now it is all about waiting for this to wind down. Ball touches ground. We are done and dusted. Finito as Team BDS in a perfect fashion 3-0 their way through Servette Geneva and are now looking so good up on that league table.
There was 2 shutouts in that game by Team BDS. I mean, you can't even ask for a better blowout than that. I mean, It looked like to me that there was going to be maybe a little even, but Team BDS gave Servette no chance at them all in any part of the game.
Yeah, like you said, Servette Geneva boys know them personally, and it hurts me here to see such a loss, but at the end of the day, they're the only lads that can do anything. We talk about, get hype, send them your NG in Twitch chat, but realistically, they're the 3 lads on the pitch. They're the ones that have to stop a sweep, and it just could not happen here today. So it's unfortunate. 3-0 to Team BDS. Servette Geneva will have to go into next week near enough right on the back foot to everything, trying to defy all odds, a little bit like the Get Squad last season. But we'll break that all down after this break. Guys, don't go anywhere. You're watching the Rival Series.
Saying so much more than just words could ever say.